What's up YouTube? Capital G here. So either hell has frozen over or I must be dreaming because we got ourselves an Exodia play and, you know, Sangans at 3. The possibilities are there for maybe Exodia to get a little notoriety. Exodia obviously being a fan favorite going all the way back to Legends of Blue Eyes White Dragon as it was used in the very first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! So not too much setting up that we need to do here for this video. I mean, largely with Exodia, with the new cards that have coming out, mainly like Obliterate, I think that Exodia just kind of needs time. The fact that you can run things like Wabaku and Swift Scarecrow, I mean, Exodia would not be a terrible meta pick right now. I feel like if you could probably stay away from, like, maybe if you could stay away from the Paleozoic match, like, you might actually be able to beat decks like Zodiac, considering how Exodia kind of doesn't care about life points and stuff like that. Like, you're actually going to see the reverse in this duel. You see this guy already has over 16,000 life points, and he's playing one of those banished decks that revolves around soul absorption and just getting a billion life points and hoping that your opponent can't kill you. And he's running more than enough cards to stop the battle phase. He has Wabaku, he has the Swift Scarecrow. This is really the card that does a lot for Exodia. It's called Obliterate, and what's cool about it, if you don't know what it does, it actually bounces monsters on the field back to the hand, and then you can drop an Exodia piece in the graveyard. Now that's cool because obviously you can activate things like Dark Factory of mass production, and you can put all your Exodia pieces back in your hand. And I mean, it's a card that can be used during both players' turns too. So this guy is going to continue getting life points, but it's really not going to matter considering he can't actually get through this wall of defense that, you know, has Wabakus and Swift Scarecrows and all this stuff. So you see he keeps dumping pieces of Exodia in the graveyard, and it actually sets up for this guy right here, the Legendary Exodia Incarnate. Now what this card is basically powered by the Exodia pieces in your graveyard. It gains 1,000 attack for each piece of Exodia in your graveyard. So you want a bunch of pieces of Exodia in your grave. When you summon this guy, you can actually summon it by getting rid of one of the pieces like in your hand. You normal summon it, and then you tribute that to summon this guy. And what's important about him is he's unaffected by all other card effects, so he's actually pretty difficult to kill when he is on the board. And then he puts pieces back in your hand, but he does get weaker, unfortunately, but he does put you closer to winning with Exodia. So it's kind of like a dual win condition. Unfortunately, even gods fall to kaiju, so rip. I like how what's it called, he summons basically this seemingly powerful immortal god, and then his opponent's like, oh, that's cute, kaiju, and then it's just like, oh, rip. I just I forgot that kaijus get around everything in Yu-Gi-Oh. Now here's where things get kind of cool. He summons another copy, and he actually drops his last piece of Exodia into the graveyard. I believe he dropped the head last turn, and when he's able to activate both copies of Dark Factory of Mass Production, he's able to get the 4 pieces. And what's cool is this is one of the cards that does let you get the head out of the graveyard. So as soon as he ends the turn, GG no re, I have actually gotten the 5 pieces of Exodia, and it's like, that wasn't all that difficult. I could actually see this being possible. Like, I could see this actually happening IRL as long as you can keep Exod Flame on the field for maybe 3 turns. Like, I know it's kind of difficult with Trident and, you know, all the removal kind of running around of Eccentric Archfiend and stuff, but if you could just keep your Exod Flame, or I keep going Exod Flame, Obliterate. If you keep your Obliterate on the field for just a few turns, I think that you could get some Exodia wins. I mean, who the fuck is siding against Exodia? Unless somebody's gonna activate Mind Crush and then chain like DD, or not DD, well, actually, you know what, now that I think about it, yeah, people playing DD Crow actually really fuck this deck over. I was gonna say if someone Mind Crushes you and then flips over like Macrocosmos, that's another way, but actually, you know what, guys, forget everything that I just said about Exodia being playable IRL, because I totally forgot. I watched the YCS Denver, and a lot of people main decking DD Crow. So yeah, this pretty much goes 100% out the window. And by the way, if this card is actually destroyed, you get a piece of Exodia back to your hand. So even if your opponent blows up your Obliterate, you still don't go like neg. You still actually can just recover one of the cards that you sent to the graveyard. But anyways, I guess hell will actually have to freeze over before we see Exodia playable in real life, or people will just have to stop running that damn DD Crow. But anyways, I just wanted to entertain you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.